pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. To pump it up, don't you know?
All right. I forgot how short that one was. Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. I'm trying to make sure my VPN is not running. That's good. That usually fucks shit up. So kind of an interesting day today. I think we'll jump into charts first because fuck. We've got ass and titties, guys. After riding this bitch to $12 and then jumping off, we bought about 70,000, I think, down here. And now we're in the six-figure position as we hit $1.47. So that is about a 60 plus 65% increase in a period of 24 business hours. That seems pretty good. We don't hate it. We've got Argentinia's fund, along with a lot of stuff, Malay and a bunch of other things in Argentina, skyrocketing higher. I was hoping for lower. I was praying for lower. But I guess having Javier Malay win even more power is probably a good thing. So whatever. We're above peak volumes. We're trading right at it again. Up 17% in pre-market. And for all you guys who didn't give up on the Smarter Web Company, it looks like we've got a 15% pump on that as well, at least in foreign markets. So again, we broke down underneath, and it looks like we're finally starting to push up and maybe getting a little bit of relief on Smarter Web Company. And if we look, we'll check Japan. Japan, we got Metaplanet up 4%. And Germany, we got Metaplanet up 5. Mucho shekels. Thank you for being a member again, brother. But I don't know. We're seeing some positivity, guys. We're seeing things that show that there could be a bright future in markets. And these are just a few. There's a lot more. Bitcoin miners are doing really good. Mara up 4% in pre-market. Iron up almost 5. Cypher up 3. Bitfarms up 6.5. CleanSpark up 4.5. Why Archie down pre-market? I don't know. Maybe there's some news. They've got a bunch of things in their fund, so could be down from that. I couldn't tell you. We'll have to take a look. Maybe you guys could look. Check out the news. Let me know what happened. Either way, I'm not really worried about it. I think the entirety of the market is going up. I did want to say this, though. On ASST or Strive, we could just say we've closed this gap. We'll just call that one. That's a beautiful move. I think we can ride this bitch up to the 12s again now that we have Mike Alfred here. And if that's true, that is a 10x. Roughly. It says 700 whatever. What technically we got up here, right? 743% from here. I guess I'm including 10x from where I bought it. Actually, a little more than that. But yeah, good stuff. I think really good stuff is coming. I think we have a lot of positives. Why is the market up so much, you ask? Morning from Japan. Hey, AC. There's a number of reasons why the market is up. The main one being a trade deal with China, but there's a lot of other really good trade deals that we need to talk about too. ArcG is good for the summer of 2026. Well, you know what? I got some summer of 2026 calls, and I've got some December of 2026 calls too, and I think I've got some January of 2027, so I think that'll be good. I did want to point this out. My buddy Seth posted. He said, rule number 1, and has always been, learn to take risk. The younger you do this, the better. The more you're willing to fail as you're younger, the better your life will be. I wish I would have learned this really early. I didn't learn this until my late 30s. Probably 40s, where I really started to lean into it. I probably learned it a little bit earlier, but didn't have confidence in it. Rule 2, and it has always been, manage the risk you take. So Monopoly taught me if you don't take risks, you will end up paying rent to someone that did. I 100% agree with that. That is very much the truth. Good afternoon from Turkey. We got you guys from all over the place. Mucho Shekel says, hey, Jesse, I would love to hear your thoughts on XDVR for SpaceX and Anduril exposure plus more stocks. I don't know enough about it. You guys are going to have to sell it to me. How much of a premium are you paying for their holdings? That might be something that's good to look up. Good evening from Chicken. Okay. I don't feel like that's a real country. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says, congratulations to Javier Milei. Again, we gave a $20 billion swap line. That isn't giving away money. It's providing liquidity. I don't know why people, especially on the right, are so stupid and can't understand the difference between these things. And why we would want to give money to Argentina. People are like, oh, why are we spending money on Argentina? It's like, dude, have you noticed that we're in a war with China? And Argentina is what was called the next great America before it went down a socialist path. Why wouldn't we embrace non-socialist countries? Why wouldn't we try and remove socialism/communism from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Brazil, from Argentina? Why wouldn't we want these things out? We're getting them in New York City. Why would we not want to remove them from the rest of the northern and southern hemisphere of the Americas so that we don't have to worry about socialism and communism taking over here? We know how these things play out. They're not positive. I love the fact that we're leaning in to help Argentina. This is the kind of world we should be fighting. It shouldn't be on the other side of the sea that we're having to fight in the Middle East with people that don't have the same values as us, trying to push them towards those. We literally have someone saying, we love you. We want to be like you. Please help us get over the chasm. Why wouldn't we embrace that? So ARGT looking good today because of that. CRISP is down a lot. That's a big position in ARGT. Do we know why? Let me know. Yep, down 3%. It looks like in pre-mark now for ARGT. I put down here, I screamed from the rooftop that the gold trade was over and Bitcoin was going to start screaming higher. And this is when Peter Schiff basically did his victory dance right at the top. And the monthly candle looks horrific on these things. It looks really, really bad. And we'll talk about that more. This post said Zoran Mamdani will win because foreign-born New Yorkers overwhelmingly support him. Now, the funny thing is that immigration decided this race, right? If you look at non-foreign-born citizens, people that grew up in New York City, they do not support him. But all the foreign-born ones that they've brought in mass, they do, right? So this just shows what happens when you allow immigration to run rampant, and then you have a party that's as retarded as the Democratic Party, offering free everything and eating the rich. It's just the dumbest shit ever. It's wild to see this starting to take off in New York City, a city that less than a quarter of a century ago had the worst terrorist attack from Muslims anywhere in the world. They had their towers dropping to the ground, and Mamdani's big pitch was how his auntie, who evidently, I don't even know if she was in New York City at the time, didn't feel safe after September 11th. Like, that's the real fucking problem. Like the Muslims who murdered American citizens and brought down two of the tallest buildings in our fucking country. Like, they're the fucking victims from September 11th. Astonishing to me. And yet, again, you let foreign immigrants in and you give them free shit and they decide your future. So which way do we want to go, America? I put, everyone should have been following me in April when I was telling them how the tariff war was going to play out, as well as letting people know what was happening in regard to the fact that this was nothing like the Great Depression and that we were actually at the bottom of the market route. But the funny thing is, that's when nobody was paying attention, right? Nobody was fucking here. So there's a chance you weren't here, right? In April, 2,400 new followers. But then in times where everything's just taking off and everybody's making fucking money and everything looks green, then everybody follows me. It's just kind of funny how that works and how market sentiment works and how important it is to understanding what's actually going on. Bitcoin Surfer, thank you for joining and becoming a member. You can talk and chat and ask questions. And again, I put, I think Long Invest has a disagreement with me here, and we'll hash this out in 2026. But Gold's monthly chart I put is utterly fucked. The trade is over. He said, hey, we're just preparing for wave 5. Whatever. I didn't even put Gold's chart on here. That's funny. Is it too late? Is it too late? It's too late. My bad. A little early. But silver's looks about the same, right? This is the worst monthly fucking chart you could have. We're going back to 2018 on this chart, and this is the monthly chart you're getting ready to print. It is horrific. It is something to run away from. It is why I told you guys with gold and silver, and again, gold isn't much better. It's down 2.2% today. It looks like shit. This is the gold chart, okay? After a record, and I don't know how many times I had to fucking say this, but on the monthly chart, we hit 92, the highest level since 1973. So there were signs that we had topped. Now, if you just look over here, let's look at what happened. Let's look at what happened over here in the 80s when we had that same kind of monthly candle. It didn't go anywhere. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, gold's going to keep just going up. It was a $30 trillion fucking asset. I don't know how many of you are good at math, but try looking at a $1 trillion and comparing it to $1 billion. It's phenomenal. Now, take $30 trillion and try and see if you can pump that bitch to 60. It ain't going to be easy, right? You're not going to double your money on gold right now, okay? And so why would you want to sit in gold when you could buy the asset that is 6% the market cap of gold, otherwise known as Bitcoin, or something that's literally barely registers as a percent, Ethereum, or Solana that isn't even a percent of gold? Why wouldn't you do that? You got the seasonality behind you. You saw the gold BTC ratio breaking. I know you saw it because I fucking showed it to you, right? Remember this post? I didn't even get 100 likes on this fucking post the other day when I retweeted it, saying, remember when I told you down here that we were going up and that it was going to be violent and that we're going up to 50? I said back here that we're going here. And you know what? This doesn't even look crazy. Because if we zoom out and look at different Bitcoin cycle peaks, this was a cycle peak. This was a cycle peak. This was a cycle peak. Do we look like we've peaked? Do we really? Look at this return. If you zoomed in, look at this return. And so far, we've done jack shit. So I think 50 is low. And we're getting ready to just explode higher. And I hope people understand the gravity of that. I hope you get it. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Richard, for becoming members. Let's hop over here real quick. So Argentina still up 17% in pre-market. Dig it. Sorry for anybody who's down on ARKG today. It's only down 2.8%. Focus on more positive things. There's plenty of them out there to see. I'm going to pull up my ass and titties because it's up 4% this morning, and I want to see it go up even more because I like that. It makes me happy. I'm just going to move these other charts off the screen real quick, get them out of the way. Let's look. Fear and greed. That's a good one to look at. So we're still in the stock market. We're still very much in fear territory, kind of in the middle of the fear territory. And the crypto markets, I think coin market cap is reflecting the closest to reality right now, out of fear, just in starting neutral. We've got the alternative index that says that we're already in neutral. I disagree with that, but you know what? It doesn't really matter too much. If you look at these things, we have the ability to stay in extreme greed at a cycle peak. This is a cycle peak, right? Right up here for very long periods of time, months at a time, right? And I don't know if this one doesn't, I wish this index existed in 2017. You'd see something similar. I think I'd like to get me some ASSTs. Everybody wants to get it when it's up like what? It's up 50. It's up almost 70% now. $1.50. It closed the daily gap. It's going to have a gap now to the downside, right? But we'll see. I think you'll have an opportunity maybe to get it a little bit cheaper today. Somebody's got to be taking profits, especially if you, I don't know, 70% like 24 hours. Come on, guys. Bitcoin Surfer, Jesse, do you think BTC will drop down to fill the CME gap created over the weekend? Probably not. I think it's doing that BART pattern that I talked about, right? It's doing the BART that I talked about. It actually looks just like it. It's almost perfect timing, too. There's some gaps that don't fill. Could we? I mean, maybe. We could maybe do that. But I don't see any purpose or need. My Model Y is getting FSD 14 right now. I'm jelly. I probably won't get it on my Cybertruck right away. I should check my wife's car. She's probably getting it. Yeah, anyway, we'll skip all the political stuff, even though this is just sad. Look at these people. Look behind. Guys, tell me. And again, I don't care what color skin you have, but does this look representative of America right here? Does it? Can we even see? Is this a white person? It's hard to tell. We got like Sikhs, we got Asian people, we got African, black people, we got Hispanic people, it looks like. I don't see white people. Isn't that kind of funny? Isn't it kind of funny that the socialists are just all immigrants and that there's no white people? Seems kind of fucked up to me. Just saying. And again, and you're supposed to hate white people. Even if you're a white person, you're supposed to hate the white people. And if you're truly a good white person, you want the death of white people and you want us to not have babies. And you want to see immigrants come over and reshape America into whatever they want to be. And if you don't like that, you are literally a racist. Even though these people are probably racist, because we know this guy is. Upside down world, man. Taiwan doesn't want that. Doesn't want that Asian? Or wants to stay Asian. What do you want? Math, too. They could have loaded the whole stadium, yeah. There's only so many people you can fit into America, guys. I hate to break this to you. If you're a liberal, just so you know. It's called math. The U.S. struck new agreements with Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Vietnam to cut tariffs on select goods, improve access for U.S. exports, and secure rare earth supplies. Malaysia also agreed not to restrict critical mineral exports to the United States. So we're creating relationships where we're trying to circumvent and go around China, offering huge contracts to ramp up this stuff and letting them know that if ASEAN, which we're spending a lot of time with right now, again, we're building stronger relationships with this region while China has historically over the last decade harassed their neighbors, attacked their neighbors. Literally, they took Hong Kong more than a decade before they were supposed to have it based on their previous agreement. They've militarized the South China Sea. They threaten their much smaller Taiwanese neighbors all the time. They threaten the Philippines. They threaten everybody else. They threaten Vietnam, another fucking communist country in the region. And we're befriending these people. We're inviting them on our jets, and we're making trade deals with them. The Great Depression happened because we pushed towards nationalism and closed ourselves off from the rest of the world. And then when we needed liquidity, we didn't give it to the banks, and we let them fail, causing a cascading event of horrendous proportion. We are doing the exact opposite of all this stuff right now. We are the world reserve currency. We're providing tons of liquidity. We're pulling in neighbors. We're asking them to invest in our country. We're pushing down the walls of tariffs that they have against our goods while we improve our manufacturing sector and encourage deregulation and pro-growth policies that include low taxation. We're doing all these amazing things. And the world is going to be better for it, and the United States is definitely going to benefit. And I hope you guys understand that. And we are decoupling from China. If you look over here, United States critical and strategic metal imports from China as a percent of total imports is collapsing. It's actually, if you go back before the lowest levels of 2017 and 2020, we're definitely oscillating lower. And that's good. We're working very hard, guys. Can we decouple from New York? I think New York might be the best thing to ever happen to Donald Trump. I don't know if we're going to allow it or not. It just all depends, right? But we know this man's been in this country for 7 years. Zohran Mamdani, the guy who wants to take over. He's been here for 7 years. He hates white people. He hates Americans. He hates Jews. And he wants to promote Islam and prostitution. Very interesting guy to align with. It's interesting to me that the Democratic Party has decided to go full crazy. And maybe that'll work for a little bit, but I think New York, at the very least, if he gets elected, we're going to pull back massive amounts of U.S. federal dollars, and they're going to have to survive on their own 2 feet. And right now, guys, I can tell you this, billionaires right now are looking to leave in droves. They're looking to do that in California because if you watch the All In podcast over the weekend, you know that you have until September 1st to get the fuck out if you're a billionaire in California because they're going after you. So not only have they destroyed Silicon Valley, essentially, across, and Hollywood. Hollywood doesn't even really exist anymore. It's just a shell. It's a ghost in the machine of a time that is long gone right now. But they're basically making it to where if you're a billionaire, you're buying another house and claiming a primary resident in another city right now before September 1st, before, when is it? I don't remember exactly when it kicked in or is kicking in. But if you think about it, you're immediately changing your primary residence so that you can prevent clawbacks because that's what they're threatening to do. And CRISPR, they were impacted by NTLA phase 3 clinical trial pause announcement. One patient had a serious event. Oh, that sucks. This is what happens in the genomic space. You get butchered every once in a while because of something like that. So that could bring it down for a while. It's down 5% in pre-market. And NTLA, if I remember correctly, let me see here. Is it over here? Yes, I agree. Holdings. Yeah. Okay. So NTLA is also a number 4 position in ARKG. So it's probably getting doubly. It's probably CRISPR is getting hit because of NTLA getting hit. And the whole sector is probably getting hit. I haven't looked at it, but I'm sure it is. But these things happen. So there are serious events that happen in trials, and they don't even necessarily have to be representative of the work that's happening. Let's hope it's not. Real quickly, Venezuela will fall, and then Cuba will finally collapse after the effects. We will wipe out socialism, really communism, from Central and South America. I mean, it's being born in New York City, while at the same time it's being stripped from other parts of the world. It's really wild. It's wild watching history just rotate and repeat differently across different parts of the world. It's wild watching people in Iran jamming out to the white stripes and banging their heads like they're in the fucking 90s or some shit. It's really weird watching some countries embrace being free from Islamic radical rule and countries like Argentina embracing being away from communistic, socialistic rule that destroyed them for over 100 years. And then we're embracing it because we pulled in a bunch of foreigners who just want free shit. And they want to rewrite what America is because they want it to be more like whatever they want it to be, which is probably like the shitholes that they left. Very interesting times. This is an interesting interview and discussion. It's 49 seconds long. I'll probably skip it. But essentially, this Senator Rick Scott was talking about how the fact that Cuba will collapse, that we're probably going to invade Venezuela or at least replace Maduro. And that if Maduro is smart, he'd head to Russia or China right now because his days are numbered. But once Venezuela falls, the next natural event is for Cuba to fall. Cuba has only survived from cheap Venezuelan oil, and they will have nobody. They will have nobody. So I do think that we're trying to get rid of socialism and communism. Also, this is Japan. Isn't this crazy? In Japan, we have these fentanyl people that are hunched over and all fucked up. In Japan. And we know where it comes from. It comes from China. It's the same movement of the Muslims, the Zohran Mamdanis that want to destroy the West and rewrite it and turn it into something else. They're these same people. They're the same people like the Chinese Communist Party that are giving fentanyl to all of their enemies so that they can ruin them. They're doing the opium wars to us, and we're allowing it, and it's insane. I told people to follow Shinaka. He had a couple of good posts. We'll look at another one in a second. This one's just about Bitcoin. I'm probably going to skip it, but definitely check it out. There's good stuff there. And just speaking to this is so insane to me. So, again, people in Iran jamming out to white stripes right now because they're excited that the Islamic regime is losing power over them. But here's some of these same probably leftist Iranians celebrating Khomeini's arrival in 1979, where they had gotten rid of their emperor and replaced him with a radical Muslim. He later killed 30,000 leftists. People probably like this. These women were forced to wear hijabs and their life would be changed forever. They celebrated in the streets that they had elected this man. The modern day version of him is Zohran Mamdani. You might not understand that, but Zohran is just a wolf in sheep's clothing, just a less apparent version of this one. And again, they celebrated this guy. So why wouldn't they celebrate Zohran Mamdani? Bill Ackman said Argentina rejects socialism while New York City embraces it. The world is upside down. Let's stop this in New York before it's too late. It's too late. I love this, though. I love that Javier Milei was thanking Donald Trump. He said, "Thank you, Mr. President, for trusting the Argentine people. You are a great friend of the Argentinian Republic. Our nations should never have stopped being allies. Our people want to live in freedom. Count on me to fight for Western civilization, which has succeeded in lifting more than 90% of the world's population from poverty." MAGA, Argentina shaking hands with the United States. So if you ever doubt why we've done what we've done for Argentina, this is why. We're trying to save the West. That people might not care about that because they don't care. They care more about their portfolios. But you better want to save the West if you want to keep your portfolio. Jelly showed how Bitcoin looked like it was bottoming, and it did. True story. Trump, a couple of hours ago, because he's nonstop works for the American people, landed in Japan after, again, hanging out with the Asiatic nations and establishing all these deals to try and lessen our dependency on China. He arrived in Japan to reduce their tariffs. And now, again, they elected a right-wing leader, somebody that Trump will be happy to assist and give leniency to because they bent a knee and they voted for the right kind of person, right? So he's going to treat Japan, I think, very well. He'll be tough, but he'll treat them very well. We want to build those kind of relationships all over Asia. We want to build those kind of relationships, especially heading in to the finalization of our meeting with China later this week. Lots going on. We haven't even talked about that. We've got Wednesday, we got Fed rate decisions, and we got all that stuff. Probably the end of QT is happening this week. QE is possibly, I think it's going to be at least talked about. Saylor bought 390 Bitcoin. Awesome. And then at the same time, we got our China deal getting finalized by the end of the week. Trump, I think, was meeting with Xi on Thursday. I don't remember. If chat knows, let me know. Ziv, Jesse, how do you view the Bitcoin 4-year cycle? So I think people have misunderstood me a little bit on this. I think the 4-year cycle is not over because this cycle is not over. And I think this is probably representative of the last 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. It's going to look very different. It already looks very different. And we don't even know when this cycle necessarily ends. It could end up doing something weird where it's got the cycle's never going to end. Bitcoin's still going up, and it's January, and everybody's super excited. And then, again, we've got a lot of global liquidity issues coming in the end of Q1 or second half of Q2. So I still think that like a 20-30% correction in markets is probably going to happen. But maybe that happens when the S&P is at 7,000 or 7,500. And yeah, I think the cycle that people will say this 4-year cycle is done. It's just up and to the right. And then I think at the most inopportune time, after people have made a bunch of money and all the newbies have not cashed out, that will be the perfect time for that to roll over. That'll probably be when TLT is doing really good and the 20-year bond. And the U.S. is looking good, but maybe, again, fiscally printing money and feeding it to markets versus feeding it to the machine to build out industry are very different things. And I think we'll see a lot of reservicing of debt, like Michael Howell talks about, where a lot of people are refinancing, but again, that not necessarily a lot of new lending. I think that the narrative is just going to flip. I think that's what people need to think about. Again, ASST, we had a beautiful bottom on the daily time frame, oversold under the 30 range for plenty of time, for a month almost. And now we got that pop because of Mike Alfred. And again, 33% up in pre-market. We're going to really, I think, essentially close the gap. And then we're kind of going to maybe chop in la la land for a minute. I don't know, though. With Mike Alfred momentum, how long does it last? I don't know. Mike Alfred has the ability to move markets, man. If you don't realize that, you should. He can move a stock just by saying something nice about it. And he knows that. He'll never admit it. I wouldn't. The Long Investor, the TLI team is now 10 people strong, all experts in our field with qualified accounts and analysts. We're going to take the sector. That's awesome. I know he was talking to me a little bit too. I don't know. I'm a lone wolf. I do my own thing, but I'm happy to talk to him. And I like Long. He's got very different. I think he's probably left leaning or independent or something. I don't think he likes Trump, but I think that's going to be the thing that's going to probably slow him down in the quarters ahead is that. But we'll see. He's pretty good with technicals and he's good with Elliott wave theory and all that shit. So we'll see what happens with it. But I do like Long. This is what Bitcoin looks like when it's underperforming. You have to be insane to bet on anything else over the next decade. It's underperforming. And yeah, he's just talking about how a week, 6.2, a month, 6 months, 22%, year to date, 23, 1 year, 72, 5 years, 783%, all time, 1 million %. And he's right. He is right. I do think too that, what are we showing here? Too bad. I do think that, what was I going to say? Oh, well, I lost the thought. Moving on. What do we got here? If SoFi holds here, it's breaking above. Oh, SoFi is going to be fine. It's going to do really well. Banks are going to do really well, guys. Banks do really well in an interest lowering environment, especially after the initial part. I mean, we're going higher. I wouldn't be surprised if 52 is in the future. It's going to do really good. Underperforming BTC. Oh, you're trying to help me back to what I was doing? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't that. But I mean, Bitcoin, again, underperforming does an amazing job. I think that was their point, and that is 100% true. We already talked about Javier Milei. This is Javier Milei. This is Argentina, guys. They love this man. Look at his security detail. They're like, oh, fuck, don't run. Javier, don't run. They're like, Javier, no. Javier, slow down. Come back, Javier. Look at these guys. They're like, keep up with him. Fucking love this guy. I mean, at any time, somebody could just fucking take him out. But he's a brave man. And he's an actual macroeconomist. This guy is studied in macroeconomics. He understands central banking better than any of those guys do. And he's embracing capitalism wholeheartedly. And he's going to change South America for capitalism and democracy. He is macro to macro. He is. I like that, Emmett. Yeah. Again, we're at that 150 range. I think it could go down, but again, it's got the Mike Alfred effect. If it goes down, I don't think it'll be like long lived at all. Theta Grind said Q4 is going to be pure FOMO. Too many hedges have underperformed all year. They can't afford to close the books, trailing the S&P. So they're going to funnel a bunch of cash in to try and catch up and get a higher return so that they can say, hey, guys, we outperformed all these other guys. They're going to chase. They have to. They're driven by performance metrics so much. Quants will just, move from them if they're not performing. Bitcoin Asset Research, quite confident Metaplanet is going to explode from here. I agree. We had Lynn Alden talk about that over the weekend. She said it was favorably priced. Again, guys, Climb, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Climb, for the people who know who he is, he was like one of the people that everybody was excited about with Metaplanet, right? He was, what's his name from the GameStop saga, right? So it's just wild that he's gone, but literally him leaving is what bottomed Metaplanet. And I 100% believe that. I think somebody posted about that. Got man in the arena, Donald Trump. I agree. He's a badass. I used to hate him a year and a half ago. That's how willing I am to change my mind. Okay, guys? Roaring Kitty, thank you. That's how willing I am to change my fucking mind, though, right? Is I went from hating Donald Trump a year and a half ago and hating him pretty much the entire time and being a 2-time Obama voter to literally going, why the fuck did I hate this guy? Nothing I thought was really true. It's completely different. James E. Thorne, for the record, the Sooner Canada acknowledges that portions of its manufacturing sector are structurally uncompetitive and unlikely to return the better. The path forward lies in resources and regulatory framework to attract global capital. I agree. That's totally the truth. This is a good one. This is the one I wanted, guys. Globalization didn't die. It got a paywall. This is one of many good ones. I might actually... So let me go up here. Let's start up here. So this is Shinaka. I told you guys to follow him. I really think he's great. And Jesse, same here. And then Michael said, same Jesse, being objective is a choice. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, you have to be, right? You have to open your eyes to facts and realize when you've been lied to and be willing to change. You have to be that way, especially in investing. Shinaka is a real person, not an AI. Wrote a book. October 26th, the day America became an empire, is this latest headline. I love this, and I think it's so true. While you watch TikTok, the United States just executed the greatest economic coup in human history. What does he mean by this? China controls 80% of rare earth processing. The neurons, and that depends on what we're talking about. It can be 90. The neurons of every weapon system, smartphone, and AI server on the planet Earth. One element, neodymium. Without it, the F-35s don't fly. Teslas don't move. Data centers go dark. Trump threatened to destroy $300 billion in Chinese exports with 100% tariffs. Beijing responded. We still got 52, guys. Beijing responded by threatening to choke the global technology supply. I think we just called their bluff and we showed the world of what they're trying to do, what their game plan is, and I think that's fucking beautiful. Hey, Jesse, remember 19 months. Are you still considering calls on IBIT? Maybe. I haven't looked. I should. Critical thinking is underrated. I agree. Beijing responded by threatening to choke the global technology supply chain. Again, that's what they did. Then something impossible happened, the 72-hour checkmate. Think about this, guys. People are going to be like, Taco Trump, Taco Trump. You guys are fucking idiots, man. You can't call him Taco Trump when he keeps fucking winning. We've got 52 to 54% tariffs on China right now. We just got them to expose themselves to the fucking world that they are trying to use rare earth elements and using their supply chains to destroy them. We got them to just fucking send letters out letting people know what they're trying to do. And then in 72 hours, we called their bluff and said, we'll go 100% more plus tariffs. You'll be at 150%. Do you want that? And they immediately started backtracking. Immediately took the person that was going down this path and reassigned them to other work. And then said that America shouldn't bully the world this way and that these tariffs are unsustainable. October 24th, Malaysia signs mineral pact. Oh, wait, you mean a couple of days ago Trump was getting that done? Oh, but on the 25th. Oh, that was 3 days ago, the 24th. 2 days ago, what was Trump doing? He was signing processing deals for rare earth elements with Thailand. And then the 26th, yesterday, on a Sunday, he announced a framework that they're going to be using across all of ASEAN Hidden in the fine print, $13 billion rare earth processing. That was a week ago. Cambodia extraction rights. That was around that same time. Japan's 2010 playbook, which cut Chinese dependency 30%, now deployed across $350 billion in American AI infrastructure. The number that ends globalization, U.S.-China trade, 2018, $758 billion to now in 2024, $578. It's probably going to be in the fours this time around, maybe less. That $180 billion didn't vanish. It relocated to nations that bend the knee. Asian trade up 20%. And again, China's exporting to Vietnam. We know this. And then they're trying to get their goods out the door. You know what's great about that is China's spending all their fucking money in Vietnam on warehouses, on additional shipping, on additional hiring, on more people doing manufacturing. They're taking it from their country and they're having to export it to other countries. We're forcing China to export their wealth to other countries, the same fucking thing that the World Economic Forum had us doing for decades to enrich our enemies like China. We're using the playbook against them, and it's a beautiful thing. So, Trump just converted the largest consumer market from a trade partner into a weapon. Every nation now faces a choice: access to American markets or access to Chinese supply chains. Not both, ever again. The $20 billion soybean freeze, first since 2018, isn't retaliation. You know who China's buying some of their soybeans from, guys? Do you want to know? It's this little country called Argentina. And there's others. But imagine we're going to be able to kind of get our friends that we're taking care of to be like, fuck you, China. We're going to cut off your supply. We don't want you fucking with the United States, and we make money off the soybeans, but we're going to have to pull back because they're our buddies. And so we're going to, let me just read this. The $20 billion soybean freeze, first since 2018, isn't retaliation. This is China against us. It's a demonstration. China can inflict pain. America can inflict extinction. The pattern that broke reality. 7 times since 2018, identical playbook, announced apocalyptic tariffs. Markets crater, China retaliates, then exemptions appear for allies. Pressure multiplies on Beijing. Again, guys, China, everybody's like, what the fuck is going on with the tariffs? Why is the rest of the world has such high tariffs? I thought we were going after China. What happened? And then China wasn't too bad. But now the rest of the world is seeing falling tariffs, and China is left holding a 50% bag. This is all a part of the plan. 60% of Chinese goods face maximum tariffs. Allied nations are 4%. If you're allied with the United States, you're probably getting 4%. Every chaotic threat was a calculated bid. Every impulsive tweet moved supply chains. Every trade war headline masked the systematic dismantling of Chinese technological sovereignty. We're forcing them to export their manufacturing to the rest of Asia. Isn't that funny? November 1st, Xi meets Trump at APEC. The deal is already done, rare earths access for tariff relief, and they might meet a couple of days before this on the 29th. American boots in Asian rare earth facilities. China gets to save face. America gets the future. Taiwan, AI dominance, technological independence, and the end of competitive multipolarity, all bundled into a trade framework the media will call a truce. The truth, globalization didn't collapse. It was conquered. Conquered. In Chinaka, again, somebody said to him here, America didn't end globalization. It privatized it. The empire model is now subscription-based. Pay with loyalty or lose access. This is 100% true, Janice. And then Shannon responded, globalization didn't die. It got a paywall. Receipt 1. Access now depends on permissions, not prices. Dollar clearing, SWIFT pipes, export licenses are switches Washington can flip. Ask any firm on the U.S. entity list or a bank that touched a secondary sanction. We can literally use these to cut China off from the rest of the world. Receipt number 2. Chips proved the model. 2022 to 2025 controls barred EUV to China and roped in ASML and TSMC, Samsung, and NVIDIA. Join the rule set or lose the market. That's the subscription of Geopolitics. Receipt 3, supply chains are voting with their feet. China plus one turned into China plus many. Vietnam, India, Mexico, Asian pulled record FDI, foreign direct investment, while U.S. tariffs and tax bans stayed. Globalization didn't collapse. It rerouted through member-only corridors, 100%. Receipt 4, you got to follow these guys. You got to follow Shakan. Receipt 4, critical minerals are being repathed. China still processes the bulk of rare earths, but U.S., Australia, Japan projects, Lynn, Texas, DoD contracts, allied pacts are building a non-China spine. Inputs become leverage, and leverage becomes policy. We have a massive incentive to build this out. Receipt 5, markets are now instruments. When access is conditional, price is policy enforcement. The free market is a gated API. Remember this, guys. And I'll finish his conclusion, and then I got to say something too. America Prime, yes, sir. Conclusion, America didn't end globalization, it privatized it. The empire runs on logins, licenses, and loyalties. The real game isn't who wins, it's who can exit the system without going dark. Strategy question, when the market itself is a weapon, do you hold assets and infrastructure that still work after the switch is flipped? So good. Such a good comment right here. We are closing this down. And again, America, we're closing off our markets. We're forcing China to export its business if it wants to survive to other parts of the world. We're deindustrializing them through the same powers that they were trying to exert against us. And yes, I believe Trump is a machine. America Prime will be a thing. You will see from North to South America, all of it will be the Americas. And it'll be something different, man. I think that's where we're heading towards. We're already trying to loop in and get everything, get stronger relationships with Central and South America. Why not have a BRICS, but for the Americas? Why not have that? Can anybody see a U.S. BRICS? I can. It's going to be much more powerful. We're creating it right now. I just don't know what the name is, right? They haven't told me what the name is. All right, what else we got? Need to put this guy in NASA. I don't think space should be under the Department of Transportation, personally. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. I just said this puts a floor under stocks. Last time people were like, well, that was a 50% drop in markets before Berkshire Hathaway bought. Here's the thing. I don't think Warren Buffett's going to get the buyout that he was looking for. And Charlie's dead. So I don't know. If you're looking towards people that have been very successful their entire lives, that are near death, and that lost one of their greatest friends and allies as the best investors to look at, I don't think it's that. I think literally Warren Buffett's trying to ensure his legacy in case the market falls apart. He doesn't want to die and then have, not that he's going to know, but then have Berkshire Hathaway roll over. This is his baby and it's his life. So he's being very conservative, but that's not going to work right now because he thinks Bitcoin is rat poison squared, and that's causing him to lose out on a lot of opportunity. I told you this too. I told you OPEC and Saudi Arabia would produce more oil to side with Trump because he's giving them AI, if you're Saudi Arabia, or he's giving them a lot, probably broader guarantees and a lot more American funding to try and pull the Middle East towards our orbit. And I don't know what I said here. Stating that they will up any Russian, they will. I don't know what this is trying, but they will produce more oil to offset any reductions in Russian oil. And that's a good video to watch if you want to find out more about it. President Trump, the peacemaker. Conflicts ended under President Trump's second term. Israel, Hamas, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Egypt, Ethiopia, Cambodia, Thailand, Rwanda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Israel, Iran, India, Pakistan, and Serbia, Kosovo. So even if you don't give them full credit on one or two of these, can you see a trend here? And the bulk of this he was able to do because of tariffs. Right now, China and India are cutting back dramatically on oil purchases. Russia, Putin is saying it doesn't matter. Putin will collapse. Russia will collapse. He either gives it up, right now, or he's going to lose power. And I don't think Putin wants to lose power, so he's probably going to try and find some way to amicably step away, and maintain power in some way, but in the war, I should say, in the war, and still maintain power. Guys, if you haven't, Jordy Visser is great. I guess he does a weekend interview with Anthony Pompliano. I didn't watch this one because I just found out about it when I was finishing up another video. You guys brought him up. I love him. I think he's great. I think he's very insightful. Yeah, he's got a lot of great talking points, really staying abreast of what's going on with markets. Just a smart guy, very technology driven, macro investor, over 30 years of Wall Street experience. He's got the more formal traditional path, but he actually seems to know what he's talking about, which is rare, I find, in those circles. Let's keep going. Also, yeah, there's one of the videos I was recommending. What is this? Literally said everything you said would happen indeed happened. You were so early from the beginning of 2025. Yes, I was. I've been over 90% right about macro. I posted this, guys. I said, to the Bears, the star of The Big Short, Steve Carell, remember that character, is not bearish on credit, and you are. You're smarter than the people who saw the real estate market falling apart in 2006 to 2007, a year plus before others. You're that special. This is a great video. I brought it up a couple times. Didn't even get 100 likes. This is Steve Eisman telling you whether or not there's banking-related risk in regional banks and in the credit sector. This is the guy, okay? This is me in fucking April trying to explain to people that we weren't in the Great Depression and that we were at the bottom of the bear market and that we were going to explode higher. And this is me, again, trying to tell people you shouldn't be worried about this stuff. If you actually had some fears about regional banking collapse, or you just want to, get rid of that fear, why wouldn't you just spend a minute watching this fucking thing on 2X? I don't get it, but that's how things work. Antifa and Portland have actually, all this stuff's been cleared out and removed. The Portland police, I think, are trying to prevent the Guard from taking over and the Insurrection Act being passed in Oregon. So they're actually trying to invoke the law. And that's interesting. ASST and BTC and Vivek, JD love it. Now Mike Alfred is the rocket. He is the rocket. He is the bringer of wealth. So if Mike Alfred says something, algorithms immediately buy it. And that's cool. You got to love that. Shamath had a comment I wanted to talk about. The all-in pod was really good again this week. He said, as Waymo goes, so does Cybercab. Waymo X Cybercab, less human driving. He's comparing the two evenly. They should in no way be compared. I'm following the trail of breadcrumbs to update my opinions on oil, meh. Auto sales, meh. Auto financing, ugh. I agree with all that. Auto parts, yuck. I agree. Insurance, dead. Yeah, probably, right? That's all going to change. Lemonade's going to change that. They're going to give away free insurance for people that use autopilot. Retail infrastructure, residential zoning, commercial real estate. There's a lot to think about here, because what he's alluding to is what happens when people don't necessarily own cars as much and they use cybercabs for mass transportation. Like if you don't want to get stabbed on a bus or raped by somebody who hates you because of the color of your skin or wants to stab you to death in a fucking, bus or a train because of the way you look or the fact that you have too much money. If you don't want that, what are you going to do? You're going to hop in a cybercab where you don't have to worry about the driver raping you or trying to murder you, or other people on public transportation trying to do those things. So if cybercabs really take off because people want privacy and they want safety, which I think they will, and Waymo isn't even close, so let's not even talk about that. What happens to zoning and commercial real estate in a world where there's parking lots everywhere, but you don't need them? eliminate all the parking lots everywhere you go. When you drive around today, I want you to do something. I want you to look at all the parking spots and think about this. Think about maybe one or two parking ramps and across some metro areas, or maybe it's more than that are just like ramps. But then outside of that, get rid of all the parking lots. All of them. And just have them be mostly ramps. And then people can walk to those destinations or take some kind of bike or whatever if they want to get a little bit closer. But most people in metro areas are going to choose to do this stuff so that they can be more personally safe. They can have entertainment while they're being driven around. And you're going to see real estate change fundamentally. Because parking lots, we have such huge parking lots, and you don't need as many of them. You don't. And we don't even use our cars, guys. We don't even use it. We use them like a couple percent of our time, 1% of our time, or they just sit around. Isn't that crazy? So this is all going to change, not just commercial. I mean, everything, right? It's all going to change a lot. There's going to be a lot of things changing. So it's just, I thought it was food for thought. So look at all the parking lots, guys. Look at all the parking lots and think about, I don't know, 60% of it going away. Did watch Michael Howell, and he's bearish for 2026, so probably sell 60%. He's bearish. I want to be very clear, Stefan, because when you say that, you need to provide timing context. He's pushed his bearishness from end of Q2 2025 all the way over to the end, anywhere from the end of Q1 to the end of Q2. So now he's bearish from like end of March to July. So it's important to pay attention to the time frames. John Forgery, if you like, but I do agree. I'm going to be, if I get to 12 to 20 million, I'm going to have a much different portfolio allocation than I have right now. So I just wanted to clarify his time frame, but still my thoughts. John Forgery, if you like Jordy Visser, you'll probably like Matt Madison too. Pump interviewed him recently. Tag me on it. Or you know what? Here, I'll take a second and actually maybe just pull that up. Let me see. Is he on here? Matt Madison? Mel Madison? Matt? Is it this guy? No, that definitely is not it. Definitely not it. Let me know. Tag me in a post and give me the handle if you would, man. I'd appreciate it. Real quickly, Nick Shirley connected with a Portland local. These are some of the people that live next door, and they were excited because Antifa was being removed.
Got a great smile. She's sick of Antifa. She's ready to live a normal life again.
I am happy you are here. It's like Christmas. After being attacked so many times, to see them go down is just like Christmas. I know.
Amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's wonderful.
That's why we need the Patriots out here. God bless everybody here in the chat.
So again, the police are actually enforcing the law in Portland because they don't want to have the guard there. Alex Garcia, BMNR announces ETH holdings exceeding 3.31 million tokens and a total crypto and cash holdings of $14.2 billion. Jesus. That's a pretty good number. I'm up 11% in my BMNU pre-market. Smarter Web in the UK is up 17% today. This really looks like a W bottom. The W bottom is probably going to try and push us up here to the 83 range, which gets us near this downward channel that's just been going on forever. So this is fascinating. I think in the next month, guys, I think we're actually going to break out and probably get to at least the 210 range. It'll be a beautiful range, or it'll be a beautiful thing. It's well deserving. I feel bad. You got to realize, I got excited about treasuries because I started to really understand the magnitude of them. I didn't understand HPC really well, which I wish I would have at the time. And thank you for the 1,100 people here. If you guys could hit the like, super appreciate it. It doesn't take much. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to give me any money whatsoever. I don't do ads. Just hit the like button and comment every once in a while. But I feel bad because I was really excited about this over here. I got in like over here probably. I don't remember where it was at, but like I got in. No, it's probably down even more. But I got in and made a bunch of money, and then it went down really hard. and it sucks, right? Everybody, because the way things work, like in April, when I was telling you guys what to buy and when to buy it, nobody was listening to me. But the time that people listen to me is when everything is going really well. And that's when people get excited and they jump in too. So I was excited. I was overly excited for this and got in too early because I was like, oh shit, this is like MicroStrategy. The miners have all this overhead and cost, at least the Bitcoin side of it. I didn't realize what the margins were going to be like for HPC. And so I was like, and I didn't get out of miners. I stayed in them. I used gains from Tesla and other stuff to dial into the Bitcoin treasury companies, but really at the wrong time. It sucks. And then people follow me when everything is going well. And so it makes it really hard. It makes it really hard to help people when they all come in at the wrong time. You know what I mean? So I'll take partial responsibility for that. But you guys need to start fucking listening when I tell you to listen, not just when you think that you're going to make some quick money because you're jumping on the bandwagon like every other motherfucker. Okay? So just remember that. All right, let's keep going. So Cantonese Cat said, sentiment is resetting, even though most people think other people are bullish. My impressions and new follows show a bearish trend line. It's not due to a lack of effort because I replied to your comments 131 times today. So I agree with this. This tends to happen. This last part of the month has been slower for me too. So again, sentiment is always all over the place. I use it as a counter indicator all the time. Fed interest rate decision as Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central. Fed FOMC statement, again, around the same time. And then Powell will speak at 1:30 like normal. This is going to be one we'll watch. I'll make a video for this one, guys. It's a big deal. A whale yesterday bought 2,700 Bitcoin worth $309 million. You notice it's not them, going 20x on it or 30x on it. They just bought a huge amount of Bitcoin. That's a good thing. Let's see what else we got here. Again, I just want to point this out. So I just want to point this out right over here, October 25th. I said 115 or $114,000 Bitcoin is coming very soon. I didn't put all caps, but I don't say very soon very often, right? And that was at 111. I told you Bart was coming, and this was, I don't know, when was this? 5:59 on October 25th. And then I posted something a little bit later. When was this? October 26th, the next day. The next day I post, hey, it looks like we're going to be at 114 soon. The next target is 117. We're still trying to hit that. We actually stopped at 116 and change. But we're getting ready to break above it. And I just wanted to point out my timing was very, very good. And I'm saying we could start testing the 120,000 range. Now, I do think 117 right over here to a hair under 120 will probably be some tougher support. But I could see, whether it's today or tomorrow or the next day, I could see us getting to 120 quick and then grinding here for a little bit. And once we do that and it's above peak volumes, everybody's going to be like, oh, bitch, this is it. This is the wave where we really take off. And I think that's going to happen, and I hope you guys are paying attention. We also have Cantonese Cat saying that TLT is starting to look attractive. I'm starting to see that from a number of people. So hopefully, again, as you make a bunch of money in the days ahead, I think TLT is going to be a great hedge. I'll probably eventually try and work myself up to a 10% position across multiple time frames. Some of them I might make pretty short. By like short, I mean the middle of next year. And then some that are mid by January of 2027. And then some that are long, January of 2028, probably at a higher target, at least 110 or maybe above. But I am going to play that trade over multiple time frames, try and divvy it up pretty good. And again, Cantonese Cat starting to say, hey, this is looking good. And we're going to tend to 15x the potential returns on TLT because we're not looking at TMF. We're looking at options on TLT. Yes, and we've talked about them a bunch of times. I think last Friday I even talked about them and went over the contracts and stuff. I don't know. It's been a bunch of times in the last week. I said, remember this while we scream higher in the weeks ahead. So again, on October 22nd, I said, remember this when we start, or no, down here, I said, I still don't own enough TLT on October 21st. I'm thinking about doubling my position in the next week or so. So what I was pointing out, and later in the day, I think this thing was up like 15% when the underlying wasn't even up 1% and TMF was only up like 3.5 to 4. Okay. So what I was saying is these calls were doing really well. You'll see that I had a couple of different targets. I had January for 100 and January for 110. 110 is a little more speculative, so it can give you a bigger return. You can see actually over here where that one had performed even better. Now, some of this has come back. I was actually selling this along the way. But what I wanted to reiterate is right here, the statement, I should probably say it. Which asset went up while gold, Bitcoin, AI, HPC, and quantum stocks were crashing? It was TLT. So again, while those things were doing badly, our thesis was proving to be true. So now I'm saying, remember this while we scream higher in the weeks and months ahead. Oh, wait, one sec. Sorry, saying goodbye to my daughter. Is that when we're making a bunch of money in the weeks and months ahead, and today, potentially, right? I said, don't forget to hedge your investments. And we could, on market open, guys, it's looking a little weak. Maybe we could like settle down a little bit. Again, there's two players right now. And we're at around 115,000 on Bitcoin, so that's probably good too to take a break here. There's two players. There's the people that think the world's coming to an end, and they're the majority right now. And they might have gotten some nice profits over here. They're going to sell this morning when they've made 60% on ASST. They're going to sell a little bit, and they're going to get scared out in the early morning. So some of these things are probably going to drop. People taking profits, thinking things are over, and then others are going to buy that shit. And so I think what we see is a dip in the morning, and then we see us going higher later. But I want you to think about hedging strategies because I still plan, and you will see me, if you're a subscriber, you're going to see me buying more TLT in the future. Today might be one of those days. If things don't go up enough, it won't be. Like people said with ARKG. ARKG is only down 2% now in pre-market, so that's a little bit better. But like people said, not everything is going to be up. So I'm going to take calculated moves to add more to my my TLT position. And you know what I realized? I did not fucking update my portfolio over the weekend, and it's been like almost a month. I got to double check. It's probably close to that. So I will try and do that today. Like not just saying it, but I actually mean it. I'm going to try and do that today. Okay. I promise. I think I said that for over the weekend, but I promise, multiple promises. All right, I'm going to look at chat here. Also, again, Lynn Alden, guys. Lynn Alden is a beacon for a lot of people. She's my favorite transgender mother or brother, sister from another, I don't know, whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if she is or not. I think she's got an Adam's apple, and I just fucking can't tell. But I know she hates Elon Musk, and she was hating him right around the time he was speaking out to his trans daughter. And people keep telling me she's trans, so I feel like she is. Anyway. Unrelated to what's going on here. She writes good books, and she's great at macro. And I think having Lynn with her 800,000 followers. I don't follow her because I hated her politics so much. Probably gonna follow her though because I still love her. She's a brilliant person, and I like her books. She said now that the MNAV is below 1x for Metaplanet, I think it's a pretty good deal. She's friends with Dylan. She loves Dylan. There are some people that you'll understand their relationships. You'll understand their relationships and how they network with each other. Dylan's a great guy. Lynn's a great person. But she said, what wouldn't buy before at 6x? She said, I wouldn't buy at 6, but I'd buy at 1. And it's actually technically underneath of it. So this is great. I'm amazed only 655 people liked it. Lynn's got a huge audience. Again, she is 8x the size of me. And so it's pretty wild that she didn't even get 1,000 likes from that. It lets you know how much collateral damage there is on Metaplanet, which makes me even more excited about it. All I'm hoping is, for fuck's sake, can Tesla suck in the next month? Can Argentina suck for the next month? Can TLT suck for the next month? Can some of these Bitcoin treasuries please just keep sucking for the next month? I want to make a bunch of money off my treasuries and AI play. I want to make a bunch of money off of ARC Genomics. I want to make a bunch of money off my options plays. and my 2X Solana play and my BMNU play so that I can buy these other things and then ride the second wave. So I would just please ask, do not buy MetaPlanet. Do not buy Smarter Web yet. Tell people not to do that and silently buy it yourself, okay? Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to promote those a lot right now. I'll probably do it more in the subscriber chat because I get excited about them and I want to say something, but I also don't want them to go up yet. But with Solana, again, we don't need to look at all these. I've made so many jokes about that. Oh, this is a good one though. Joseph Wing. Joseph Wing showed monthly tariff revenue. I don't know that any of this is changing anytime soon for China. We're keeping these very high. But what I set up here is we've got a run rate of about $400 billion of an increase that we've seen in tariff-related revenues with no inflation impacts. Everybody said there would be inflation. Everybody says that, oh, the manufacturers are getting hit with all this. Consumers are paying the price, and yet consumers' spending is still strong. And I should say this, or the buyers, that the people that buy in America, people were saying that they would be impacted too. But yet we see earnings still doing well. Everything's still fine. And so again, I just wanted to say, I think it's good that we're actually getting closer to a balanced budget. Are we there yet? No, fuck, we're not even close. I'm just looking for like 3%-ish range of debt and GDP, like acceleration. I want to see us inflating at like a 3%. And not completely destroying our budget and getting it to where we're basically fiscally sustainable, but we're kind of operating off of Keynesian economics. Because I think we're going to Keynesian the world to death. I think that is the plan of the United States right now. I think we're going to print money at an acceptable rate while enriching ourselves from Bitcoin and crypto. And advancements in technology and using deregulation and pro-growth and all this stuff to accelerate. We're going to keep the money printer going, and we're going to accelerate our way out of debt. I think this is probably the biggest difference between me and the long invest and other people that are much more skeptical about Trump, is I actually believe that Scott Bessent is brilliant. I think Stephen Moran is brilliant. I think Stephen Miller is brilliant. I think Pete Hegseth is great. I think Pam Bondi's starting to get it done. I think Kash Patel is crushing it. I think that so many parts of this administration, J.D. Vance, vice president, so many people are just absolutely brilliant and executing on all kinds of levels. I would kind of like the Department of Transportation to get better. And I would definitely like our energy secretary to be a little less retarded. Or if he is retarded or isn't retarded and he's actually brilliant and just trying to fuck China, just, I don't know, give us a few more signs. I think we need Jarek Isaac Min to replace that lumberjack for NASA. Yes, I agree. But what I'm trying to say here is I think there's really optimistic things happening. We've got these tariff revenues coming in, and things are looking great. Scott Bessent has been showing that to us numerous times. We got another 50 bips in rates coming down. That's going to help banks. SoFi is going to do great. Hood's probably going to do great. Trading is going to do great. We've got deals with China, India, and the rest of the Western world. We're wrapping up most of the Asiatic region. We're going to go back to India too. Reopening the government in the weeks ahead. We've got AI booming. We've got robotics boom loading through companies like Tesla. We've got reduction in taxes across the economic spectrum. We've already talked about that a bunch of times. We got deregulation across key sectors geared towards our future. That's just starting to really fire off and make change. We're removing illegals that create a burden on our national and local systems, including price pressures on rents and housing and shelter, and they create lower wages at the bottom end. We're getting rid of that. We're encouraging development in the USA with 100% depreciation with and using tariffs as a stick. So we're saying, come to the United States or we'll tariff the fuck out of you. Pro-coal, anti-solar is absurd. Yeah, we should be pro-everything. We should be pro-everything. Absolutely pro-everything. China's pro-everything. Why aren't we pro-everything? People praise China for it. The problem, I think we're anti-solar, though. I think that's more of trying to create pressure on China right now. And so we're pushing that I think, I could be wrong. We're either retarded about solar or we've got a plan and it's just simply it's another industry that China fully supports and subsidizes, and we're trying to hurt them. So it's either that or we're being retarded. I like to side with the part that says that we're not being retarded and that we're trying to do something good, because I'm optimistic about this country and its future. The market structure bill is going to be coming, guys, before the end of the year. We've heard that from multiple people. And I think the Russia-Ukraine war is coming to an end. People aren't paying attention to this. Again, this is like April all over again with tariffs. People aren't listening to me on Russia-Ukraine. That war is coming to an end. What kind of peace dividend is created when the Israeli-Gaza war is essentially over? Sure, there's some attacks and stuff, but the Gazans have the pressure of the international world, including major countries in the Middle East, leaning on them and telling them, no, you need to abide by this. You need to de-arm Hamas. These things need to happen. We want business relationships. We want the agreements to go through. We have a vested interest in this. All these things are unfolding right now. We're going to get a massive peace dividend. We're accelerating into this. We're lowering taxes. The only thing that's going to be fucked in America over the next several years is New York City. Everything else looks amazing. We've got Bahala for Ethereum. We've got Bahala for Solana. We've got Bahala for Bitcoin, and everything in between. Every AI company is just all these things. We're going to get a bubble. It's going to be a bubble, but it's going to be a big, beautiful bubble. It's going to be a $7,000 to $7,500 S&P bubble. It's going to be fun. Anyway, Naka has an MNAV of 0.45. I don't know anything about Naka. I've heard bad things from people I respect, but I don't really know it. Could it end up doing well? Maybe. Or is there a real reason it's 0.45? Sometimes there's a real reason, and that's the concern. It's the reason why I still don't like Similar Scientific. Just because, again, their medical side of things, maybe that gets better. Maybe with the Trump administration, that side of the business gets better. Then that would be an upside for them. But until it does, like you gotta look. You do your due diligence, Ronrico, to understand why this thing is at 0.5. If you or 4 or 5, if you haven't asked Grok, tell me why Naka is so undervalued compared to other Bitcoin treasury companies. Do some work. Tell me, and then see what it says. Positive development. Tom says, you know what? We haven't even looked at Tom. Did he make a video? Where is my FS Insight tab? I don't even know. Should probably try and find it. Let me pull up FS Insight real quick on my other screen, because I want to see what Tom said. What time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock. Sorry, we haven't done much news today, but I'm just like, I'm in a zone. All right, we've got Hardika. She's great, by the way. Can earnings from the Magnificent Seven help silence? All right, we might check that out. We do have earnings here. Chip on every shoulder. We got breakouts. That's Saturday. Chip on it. Well, I don't care about that. Earnings. Let's check this out, and then we'll check out Hardika and see what she has to say. SMCI, is it up today? It's up 3%. That's good. I think SMCI is still in a breakout. They had a less than pleasant earnings, but I don't think it's horrible. And I think the entire sector, just from speculation, drives it up. 175 companies are reporting this week, so it's getting heavier. Of 145 companies that have reported so far, so again, we're going to have more this week than we've had so far. 29% of the S&P. Overall, 87% are beating estimates. That's good. 6% by a median of 6%, 13% missing by -3. So the vast majority are winning, and they're winning by 6%, and the much lesser number is only losing by 3. So that's good. We like that. Now let's see what Sardik had to say, or Hardika Singh, sorry. Michael says they're working hard to suppress ETH at this point, trying to create doubt. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think there's no master plan. I do think, though.
David trusts Prevagen for his brain, and this.
I don't want to hear that. Where did that go? Here we go. Or that's that. What do we got here? Ethereum. I actually think Ethereum's doing great. I mean, if you look at the weekly right now, look at this. The weekly, we spent 1 week underneath this fib, no weeks underneath this trend line that goes all the way back to November of 2021. So we have a clean, what, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 4 years of a trend line now that we're finding perfect support on. We're back above the fib, and this is a bull flag. And we're getting ready to go higher, and the measured move gets us to around the 10,000 range. I don't think there's any suppression. I think this thing's going to take off like a rocket. We just got to get through this morning, whatever might be happening this morning, whatever concerns we might create to make sure that we drop a little bit. But look guys here, look at Solana too. Look at how perfect this is, guys. We're above. If we go, let's just look at this last like big year, right? This goes all the way back to 2024, almost into 2023. So we had peak volumes underneath of us, right? And look at this, perfect inverted head and shoulders. We're sitting on the first fib perfectly right now, ready to go higher. Once we get up here, guys, once we get up to the 260 range and we break above 260 on Solana, it is game fucking over. It is on like Donkey Kong. 600 is en route easily. And I'm not saying it can't go higher. I think we can go to 1,000. I just don't like to say it because it sounds retarded. When you tell people that we can 5x on Solana, they're like, shut the fuck up. $500 billion on Solana? But it's just the way market caps work on crypto. The really big ones can get really big because they can be very illiquid. And what do I mean by that? I probably haven't said this in a while, but it won't take. So right now we're at a $108 billion cap. For this thing to get to $500 billion, it won't take, or 600 billion, it won't take another 400 or 500 billion. It could take 100. It's just people deciding on a new price. That's why the volatility is so wicked and why the returns can be so high and why when you've got irrational exuberance, you should be exiting your position because these things are illiquid shit coins. And that's why their market caps can be so big. There is in no world a real reason why XRP should be valued the way that it is. XRP right over here, guys, this thing, they dump on people all the fucking time. Their main business prints tokens so that they can spend money. That's the business of XRP. And these fucks are still worth $158 billion. XRP is bigger than Solana. 50% bigger. And it's just a piece of shit. There's no world where this thing should be like this. But it is. Welcome to crypto. This is Tom Lee's bet on BMNR too. Michael, it was 4,900 in July. So was that all the leverage? I guess maybe. The tailwinds, no reason for it to be 4,150 right now. Yeah, it was probably a huge leverage. I mean, it was just a bunch of people running into it, and then it stopped. And then everything kind of stopped for a while, and now it's ready to go higher. If you're talking about Ethereum, I mean, and it was August when it really peaked. But you got to remember, guys, remember Ethereum here. Just look at this. Remember what it's capable of doing, okay? Over a period, I got to make something clear. Because of a voice like Tom Lee, this thing went up 256% over what period of time? What period of time was that? From here. So in 130 days, 3 months, this thing can go 256%. And that's not even a parabolic blow off, right? So I don't think it's crazy to ask for less than like 140 or something right now to get to the $10,000 level. I don't think that's crazy at all. I think people that think that's crazy aren't paying attention to the math. But this is a $470 billion cap. Now, don't get me wrong. It went up really quick. But to say that it could do 256 in 130 days and that it can't do 151 in the next couple of months in a parabolic blow-off, I think is a little crazy. Even though, don't get me wrong, I'll take a decent amount of profits at 6,400. They're working hardest. Book in tackles. Most customers push spending to Q2 for SMCI. That's good to know. Michael Roberts. It was 4,900 in July. So was that? Oh, that was the other comment. Michael Roberts. Either way, I'm heavy in BMNU. Let's fucking go already. I agree. BMNU up about 10% on the day today. ZA, should Sol not be at least 50% of ETH? That would be like 450 at the current ETH. I don't know. It depends, right? It depends on what the narrative turns out to be for the cycle. I think Solana, I think with Solt, you could 10x your money this cycle. I just think you could, because I think 600 to 1,000 is truth. And that's does a 2x representation. And I think that's going to happen in a period of a month or two. And if that's true, that's going to be a lot in a very short period of time. A lot. Maytag, good morning, all. Let's hit the like button. I think I don't even know what I have, guys. What do I have in sold right now? It's probably a lot because I've been adding to it, right? You guys saw my trades last week. I post my trades. You guys see this stuff. But I've got in the main account, what do I have for sold right now? I got 3,100 people that subscribe to me on X. I appreciate you guys. I've got right now on Solt, I've got $545,000 on my main account, and then I want to say 200,000 plus on my Robinhood. So I've probably got over $800,000 in Solt this morning. Are there any treasuries that could be a good alternative? I don't know. I DFDV and then UPixie, which is UPXI, are the two treasury alternatives. I think I've got the charts for both of them out there. They could do all right. They're doing representative of what Solt is doing today. They've kind of underperformed, but if you look here, I don't know. It's hard to know with DFDV. This looks like a descending triangle. And I just don't know if this one's flushed out in value yet. I worry about the plays for treasuries for Solana and not so much Ethereum because it's got the Tom Lee effect. So I feel pretty good about that one. Upixie actually looks like it probably got washed out and like it's trying to go higher. But DFDV from a technical standpoint, it could still break out upwards, but it worries me. It just looks like it could still flush out, and I've already had that happen with Bitcoin treasuries, which is why BMNU, I'm cool with that because of Tom Lee being in BMNR and just being by far the most dominant Ethereum treasury, being the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. I'm playing that different. But for Solana, I like Solt better. I like that 2x fund. Or you could do options. Watch my option 101 video if you have access to Solana. Well, no, you can't really. It's really going to be sold. That's all you got. You don't have like, I don't know. You could maybe try and play it with one of those other things. I don't know. It's hard. I like sold. But if you don't have access to it, you're going to probably have to try something else if you want to get exposure. I think maybe Upixie is the lesser of two evils. Michael Roberts says, August, yes, sorry. Did you see Jake's post about the similarities to 2020? Unbelievable. With which one? Let's pull up Jake. Assuming you're talking about my Colorado brother from another mother. Which post? Which thing are you talking about? He pushes China-related stuff. Oh, I hate China-related stuff. Yeah, Ethereum. Oh, this one? Or don't talk about this one? Yeah, that's a good one. Just showing the consolidation before it went higher. I 100% agree with that. Clean Spark looks so promising. What do you think? Oh, I mean, I think it looks great. It's down a little bit. Let me see how our treasury's doing. So, Bitfarms is up 4.77. Cypher's only up 1.8. Iron's only up 3.31. It looks like treasuries are coming back a little bit. But I mean, Clean Spark did have a 10% day on Friday. It's up another 3.38% in pre-market. Mara's up 4%. Mara's actually doing pretty good today. This is a great pattern, though, guys. Like, you can't tell me when we're looking at this pattern and you've found support above a resistance line that started in 2018, 18, September of 2018, 7 years ago, And you've bounced off the fib, you've rocketed above that line, and now you're looking to go up higher here towards the 24 range. This looks like a beast. Like, this looks like a beast right now. It really does. And yeah, I think we're going higher. I think we're going up here to this next fib at the 32 level. This thing turns into a rocket ship when it wants to. If you look over here, like this thing is volatile. And it could develop some divergence, but I don't know. I think we'll see what happens. Maybe we grind here for a little bit, for a week or something, and then go higher. But I think a lot of these are getting ready to just scream up to higher. We haven't even gotten, I mean, if you look at previous levels, guys, we haven't even gotten to like, iron was deep into the 90s. In 2021, CleanSpark got up to the 90s. We haven't even done that. This has been a very chill period. There is a 2x CleanSpark ETF. Is there really? That doesn't surprise me. I like the options though. I got pretty good options on this one. Although it better start skyrocketing soon because they expire in 3 weeks, 3.5. Did I understand Solt as a 10x if Sol doubled? No. If Sol, so it's a 2x fund, but a 2x fund can often do 3x the underlying. So I think Solt can go 5x. So what I'm telling you is Solt could potentially go 15. It could go 10 if we don't get a 5x out of Solana and we just go to like 600. I think you could still get close to a 10x. It's a very big thing. What the fuck? Is Mom Donnie on? 1 second here. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to listen to that. Mom Donnie's on, or was on MSNBC, and they're playing it on Fox Business. He's just such a fucking loser. He'll never go on a business channel. Do you roll your options? Rarely. I usually let them die. I try to get my timing perfect. And I try and allow enough timing. That's why I do leaps. And I'll probably be selling a decent amount of my CleanSpark on the way up. Again, it's up today, so I'll probably be selling into this. And you know what I'll probably be buying? SLON is a 2x Solana and paid 0.8% per dividend. Okay. So I don't know if you have access to that in that other market, and I don't know what the liquidity looks like for it, but that might be an option for you. If you can't get access to Solt, can you get access to that? You could check. It might be a good one. Sorry, I'm just dragging my stuff back over. We got about 20 minutes until the market opens here. I might send you guys to Emit in a little bit. It's on Robinhood. Oh, okay. Mr. Phil, what is your take on AMD or chips in general? I think chips are going to do really well. AMD, the technicals on the chart looked really good. I don't know where they are right now. I haven't looked in a while. But I think the chip, I don't know. I don't think chips are picks and shovels, right? And I think picks and shovels are still very much in demand, and they are usually the ones that do the best in markets. There's the people buying the picks and shovels. Everybody gets excited about them. But the picks and shovels are usually where a lot of the money is made and kept. And so I could see chips still doing really well without going too in depth. What are we sitting at right now? We got BMNU up about 10%. We got the Smarter Web in the UK up about 14%. We've got Solt up 7% on the day. We've got MetaPlanet in Germany up 4% on the day. We've got CleanSpark up almost 4%. We got Mara up almost 4%. Iron up about 3.28. Remember, CleanSpark is 1/3, a little less than 1/3 the market cap of Iron. So I think there's a good narrative that can brew behind that. Strive, ASST is up 30% on the day. Coincilium's up 14% on the day. Arc Genomics is down 2%, so it's the one thing getting hurt. And TLT is only down 0.17%, not much really. And then ARGT is up 18%. So a lot of the stuff we love is doing really good today. AMKR, what is it? I can check. Michael Roberts, the plan, Solt and BMNU be out by 2026 and then basically all Tesla for the parabolic move that is coming and maybe a portion in TLT. I like that plan. And I'm talking Tesla without leverage because I always want to be safe. But I think Tesla is going to be a pretty safe bet. And I think TLT would be great insurance. And I think there's probably other plays to be made too. I was hoping ARGT, Argentinian Fund, would be really weak, but that might take off, motherfucker. Pisses me off, something fierce. Let me go back here. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning today. Just raided Kensington, Pennsylvania yesterday, the epicenter of this crisis. That's a good sign. I agree with that. Yeah, so if you guys didn't know this, they went after Kensington, which is great too. AMKR, they do package for chips and GPUs. Still small cap, 7 to 8 billion. All right, we can take a look. I don't know if I have visual stocks up. I might have to do that later. Yeah, I don't have it up. I don't want to sign in right now. We'll probably have to do that one another time. Let's look at gold real quick. Gold getting a little bit of a bounce, but again, if we look historically at different cycles where gold peaked, it looks very similar to this. Very similar to this, very similar to this, very similar to this, very similar to this. So even this right here, even if it's similar to this, guys, I just want to point this out. April of 2025, breakout September. So at the very least, gold is a shitty thing to own in the next couple of months. Okay? Pascal, SLNH, EV revenue, 9x forward estimates looks cheap versus peers like Hive, 12x, and Iron 15. Huh. Yeah, we'll probably look at stocks more later. I'm honestly kind of tired today, so I don't know how much more we'll end up doing. I do want to look at the market heat map, though, and see how we're doing for the pre-market. So, pre-market, everything is green, and everybody's dumping into China. Oh, it's a great way to lose money, but whatever. People have to learn the hard way, right? That's the way things work. Thank you to the 107,500 people following on X. I really appreciate that. I think I might cut it for today, guys. I need to get some coffee. I got a lot of shit to do. I will post my trades on X. Go over and watch Amit. Spend some time with Amit. Tell him I said hi. Tell him what's going to happen today. Otherwise, we will probably pull up more on Wednesday. And I hope you all have a great day and enjoy yourselves. And remember, enjoy life too. Don't just focus on money all the time. Even though you should focus on money if you don't want to focus on money in the future. But try and enjoy life while you're doing it. Anyway, love you guys. Hope you have a great day. I should probably get over to this in the stream. Peace out, and I will talk to you.